So, dear colleagues, may I introduce myself a little bit, because many of you, I think, don't know me. My name is Brigitte, and I'm employed at the German Federal Plant Variety Office. This is the Bundessortenamt in Germany. And with my small presentation, I will give you an overview on the work of the German Gene Bank for Fruits and its network for sea buckthorn. Go on, just a moment. Yes. At first, I would like to give you some general information about the Bundessortenamt. Here you can see a map of Germany, and all the green dots all over Germany are the testing stations of the Bundessortenamt. We have 7 testing stations throughout Germany, and the headquarters are located here in the city of Hanover. And my working place is here in a small town called Wurzen. This is near the city of Leipzig, and this is the only testing station for fruits within the Bundessortenamt.
Gehen auch größere Folien?
Oh, ich versuche mal,
Das
weiß nicht,
auf Ganzbild zu bringen.
Ganzbild, wo ist das?
Sind vielleicht 2 Bildschirme dran? Dann müsste man einen ausschalten und dann hat man den Übersicht über eine.
Ich weiß leider nicht, wie das geht. I don't know.
Left from the presentation, everybody can by himself switch the size with plus and minus sign. So you can do by yourself. If you are going with mouse left to the presentation, you will get a pop on and you can change the size, what you see.
Is the size okay, or I don't know how to change? Can you see everybody?
Machen. Ja. Da ist ein Plus und da kann man es größer machen. Richtig, gut.
Okay. So then I go on. Yes. What are the duties of the Bundessortenamt, and what do we have to do with sea buckthorn? As the Federal Plant Variety Office, we are responsible for the examination and the granting of the plant breeders, of the national plant breeders' rights for new plant varieties in Germany, and we also carry out the examinations on behalf of the Community Plant Variety Office if new plant varieties should be protected in all European member states. And we carry out this examination for plant breeders' rights on several numbers of fruit species, including sea buckthorn. If new varieties of sea buckthorn should be protected in future, these examinations could take place in our testing station in Wurzen. And another important duty in context with sea buckthorn is the conservation and sustainable use of plant genetic resources. In particular, this means that the Bundessortenamt is a part of the German Gene Bank for Fruits. This is called in German, Deutsche Genbank Obst. This is the symbol of the Deutsche Genbank Obst. Yes, this gene bank system is coordinated by the Julius Kühn Institute for Breeding Research on Fruit Crops. The German Ministry of Agriculture instructed the Julius Kühn Institute for Breeding Research to found and to coordinate this gene bank. This gene bank is a decentralized network. This means that the collections are not located at one place, but we have different collections all over Germany with different partners. These partners can be federal or state institutions, like the Bundessortenamt I work for, but this could also be research institutes or private persons or companies. The gene bank system consists of 7 species-specific networks. 27 different partners are organized in the system, and for the moment we have 58 germplasm collections in it. These germplasm collections are mostly field collections with living plants. The German Gene Bank for Foods especially considers varieties with a German origin or with a reference to Germany, for example, a historic reference, but also varieties with special characteristics for breeding. The aim of the gene bank is to collect and to preserve varieties for a long time and in a sustainable way. And we also want to promote the use of plant genetic resources, for example, by provision of propagation material like bud sticks for grafting, for example, and by freely available data and information. Therefore, we provide this website with many information about the varieties or variety descriptions and information about the germplasm collections. If you are interested, you can follow this website for more and this link for more information. Yes, with this small illustration, I try to visualize the organization structure of the German Gene Bank for Fruits. As I already mentioned, the Julius Kühn Institute for Breeding Research is the head of the gene bank. It's the coordinator. And for the moment, we have networks for apples, for pears, cherries, plums, strawberries, and rubus species. And every network consists of the collection of different partners. Every network could have a different number of partners. The gene bank system is open for new partners with collections. New partners are welcome to join every time. And also the number of networks is not fixed. I think in future we will found new networks for other fruit species. The youngest network is this one. It is not species specific, but we summarize here some species with only a small number of varieties like sea buckthorn, but also walnut and hazelnut. These species also have only a small breeding activity with a low number of varieties. And in Germany, these species also have only a low or small production area. They are compared with, for example, the main crops like apples, the production area in Germany is very low. But nevertheless, these are also plant genetic resources worth for conservation. Yes, the network for sea buckthorn. It is just 2 years old. It was founded in 2019. For the moment, we have 4 partners organized in this network, which collect and preserve sea buckthorn varieties. These partners are we, the Bundessortenamt, and the Julius Kühn Institute for Breeding Research. But another partner is a research station in northern Germany near Rostock, which is specialized on research on sea buckthorn. And the 4th partner is a tree nursery, which is specialized on propagation of sea buckthorn and production of young plants. we selected 11 varieties with a German origin for this network. And for all gene bank networks, for our gene bank networks, it is valid that it is very important to maintain varieties which are true to type. Therefore, the authenticity check of the varieties is given a very high priority. The authenticity check is possible to determine the trueness to type just by phenotypic characteristics. This is often done by specialists. We call them homologists. I don't know if this is a common word in other countries. They can determine the fruit if they look for the shape of the fruit or the color, the fruiting time, and so on. But it is also possible to make a molecular genetic analysis to compare and determine the varieties. In other networks, these authenticity checks have already been done or are just carried out at the moment. For the sea buckthorn varieties, these checks are also planned, but after the current checks are concluded. Yes, for the network, as I said, we selected 11 sea buckthorn varieties. We have 6 female varieties and 5 male varieties. The names are Ascola, Dorana, Friesdorfer Orange, Ugana, Herbo, and Lycora. And the male varieties are Polmix 1 to 5. Almost all of these varieties originate from a breeding program which take place in the former Germany Democratic Republic in the 1970s and 80s. And the breeder was Hans-Joachim Albrecht from Berlin. And this breeding program was very successful and resulted in this number of varieties. And as far as I know, this was the only breeding program where also male varieties were selected. These varieties are selections of native wild populations or crossings between them. And all these varieties are used for food production in Germany. This picture shows our sea buckthorn field collection in Wurzen. We maintain for the moment 17 varieties. Besides the 11 gene bank varieties, we also maintain some varieties from abroad, for example, from Finland. And we also maintain some protected varieties. The field collection preserves the varieties as plant genetic resource, but it is also at the same time used as a reference collection for the examination for the plant breeders' rights. A new sea buckthorn variety would be compared with the already existing varieties to grant the plant breeders' right. Yes, and as a short summary or conclusion, I just prepared some pictures of the sea buckthorn varieties for you. This is variety Ascola, an early ripening variety with a high yield. Early ripening, as I heard, the Russian varieties are much earlier, but this is an early German variety. This one is Dorana, also a variety with a high yield, but only a weak growth. This variety, Friesdorfer Orange, this is not used for food production and it is not from the breeding program. It is an older variety, but it is more used in home gardens or as an ornamental variety. This is variety Frugana. For the German varieties, this is a very early ripening variety. This is variety Hergo, a variety for the middle ripening season. And at last, the picture of the well-known variety Lycora, with a middle to late ripening and big fruits for German varieties. And at last, as an example for the male varieties, I choose a picture of the variety Polmix 1, which is an early flowering variety. Yes, this was my short overview about the gene bank network for Seebuckthorn in Germany. Thank you very much for your attention, and please feel free to ask if there are any questions or remarks.
Thank you very much, Brigitte. And colleagues, please ask your questions. Who would like to ask?
Yes,
questions?
I would like to start, Yuri, if
Yes, Tom.
it's allowed. For me, one question, you have your location for the testing area at one place compared with a growing area of Seebuckthorn very in the south of the spread area. Did you mention that the results what you are finding in Wurzen can be seen as comparable to Mecklenburg-Vorpommern or Brandenburg area?
I have to say, for the last few years, we don't have any testings in Seebuckthorn because there were no new varieties applied. In former times, the testing station was more northern, near Potsdam, but this testing station was closed. And maybe we cannot compare the yield or time of fruit ripening or something, but this is not important for us because we only test for distinctness, and these value characteristics are not important for us. I hope you understand.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Okay, colleagues, who else? Okay, if nobody has any question, I would like to ask Brigitte,
Yes.
tell me, is it possible to contact with you with varieties which have not been origin in Germany? As I understood, you are interested only in German varieties, or I misunderstood you?
Yes, and because we are the German gene bank for fruits, it is for us important to preserve these varieties. Yes.
Okay, understood. Yes, thank you.